Alright, hello and welcome to another episode of Heroes of the Storm A to Z. Once again, and as always, my name is Conman, and today we are checking out Lucio. I'm gonna call him Lucio. I'm probably gonna mix that up depending on how many times I say his name throughout the course of the video. Anyway, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the medic video last time, but now we get another support. So we get Lucio here. He is, I think, the most recent support added to the game. I had to double check me on that, but I think that's what it is. He's from the Overwatch universe, so let's dive into him. What makes him interesting? He's in a weird spot right now. He was very strong for a while, and then just recently they nerfed his base healing just slightly. They kind of took it down a notch, and you know, there's some debate over that, whether or not that was the right thing to do, whether or not that was the main issue with him being so powerful. It did take him down a bit. It did take him down a bit in terms of like solo supporting. He's still in the right hands, can be very good. He's got, you know, a lot of fun tools that you can play with in his kit. But let's take a peek and see what he's all about, shall we? So first off, you can see here we're at level 21. Kind of low on the health side, only 3,100, level 20, low on the health side. He doesn't have a mount. You'll see here, he doesn't have a mount. Now, first off, he can shoot while moving. So there's something to keep in mind. He doesn't do a whole lot of damage. He kind of does this 1, 2, 3, as you see here. So it's not too much, but he is able to move while shooting. So that can be pretty useful if you're trying to chase somebody down and just pick off that last little bit of health or something along those lines. Now, he doesn't have a mount. So his trait is wall ride. If you've played Lucio in Overwatch, this will be pretty familiar to you, I imagine. When moving alongside an impassable battleground terrain or structure, Lucio can walk through other units. It's pretty neat, and his movement speed is increased by 20%. So let's go take a peek at that. I'm gonna walk over here just to make it a little more visible. Look at his movement speed. Now I'm up against this wall. It's kind of hard to see because I'm kind of in the bushes. But if I go something like, let's go play the fort. You see, he kind of like grinds his skates up against the fort. So as long as I'm kind of just around here, I get a speed bonus. It'll last for about a second or so after I hop off the wall. So you can use this with him to go pretty fast. You know, it allows him a lot of mobility. It's a tough trait because it's going to be, first of all, battleground dependent. You're going to have the terrain to be able to wall right off of, and you know, in team fights it's a little weird. You know, if you're out in the middle of the open, then you're not going to get any value from this trait, and it kind of loses some of its glory here. It does stack with one of his abilities, which is his speed boost. So he's got, let's take a peek at his abilities real fast, and we'll see what we got. So first off, we got Q, which is sound wave. It's the boop. We're gonna toggle cooldowns on this one. It's the boop. It's a little just to push people away, kind of like this. You kind of just give them a little nudge. You can, you know, knock them away. You can knock them into people. You can knock them away, you know, out of danger. You can knock them into danger. If you get behind them, you can push them into your team. You know, it's just a little displacement. Relatively short cooldown, 7 seconds. Man, it's not too bad. The damage, you know, 255 here at level 21. Not a huge amount of damage. Really, it's all about the utility. Just being able to knock somebody around. Now here we go. Now here is his crossfade track. That's his W. So you'll see right now, I've got this yellow kind of targeting indicator around me. That's my heal. This is my heal. So let me go. So right now, let's go play with him. Let's go play with this guy. So you see, I'm hanging out playing with the healing dummy. You know, with the hero, the allied target dummy, if you will. So just keeping a hero in this radius, and I just heal him by default. And you see, it's not a whole lot of healing by default. Not a whole lot of healing. It just kind of ticks along, and this is the healing that was nerfed. This used to be slightly more. I think by default it was 3 per second, and you know, it scales up, and now it's 2 per second, something like that. So this is what was nerfed. But this is his heal. So you just kind of keep in the area. Like if I go skate over here to Malfurion, just kind of keep him in the area, and that's going to heal your team. Now,
choose a talent.
His other W, if you hit W, it turns green, and this is his speed boost. So notice now his default speed goes up to 115%. I'm not wall riding, I'm out in the middle of the open. This is going to apply to Malfurion. Any of the heroes that you get in this circle are going to get their speed boosted. Now, See, now you see Malf kind of just turned tail and ran away for a second, and he actually had a little speed boost. This is going to stack with your wall ride. If I do something like this,
where we going again?
Now I'm at 135% until it fades out. Now, I'm not sure. One of the questions I had when Lucio was first introduced was why the speed boost is green and the healing boost is yellow. I still make that mistake a lot. It doesn't make any sense to me. I've been told. I don't really play Overwatch. I've been told these are the colors that were chosen for it in Overwatch. I would have questioned why those would be the colors in Overwatch then. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I would think that the heal should be green and the speed should be yellow, but that could just be me. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's silly. When I play him, which isn't often, I still make that mistake occasionally. You see the little icon here? This is who I'm targeting with my gun right now. You see it'll switch off. This is who my target is. Just something to consider. His last thing is Amp It Up. Amp It Up is going to give a significant bonus to whatever track that you're currently playing. So right now, here's my heal track. If I hit Amp It Up, now it's a huge, this is a huge healing increase to whomever I'm healing. Or, I could conversely use Amp It Up with the speed boost. Now it goes up to 145. You can switch back and forth over the course of Amp It Up as well. You see the number here as well. This is the number of heroes that you're currently healing, or these are the number of heroes that you currently have within your radius, just to keep in mind. And it shows you what side, if you can't tell by the colors, because you think the colors are silly like I do, you can see which of the two tracks that you're currently playing. And your heal will by default, it'll heal you too. Let's go and take some pot shots by this tower here. You see, I'm getting my self heal just by being here. I'm getting a self heal. It doesn't count toward the number. Myself doesn't count toward the number, but you will heal yourself. So just something to consider. So that's kind of Lucio. We'll take a peek at his ults. I think one of them is really strong and the other one not so much. Maybe you'll disagree, but let me know what you think. We'll just go together. First off, we've got. Let's pick the one that I think is really good. This is Sound Barrier. After 1 second, Lucio and all nearby allied heroes gain a huge shield. Now it's going to decay over 6 seconds. It's going to look something like this. I'm going to go pop over here. Boom! Look at that. That is basically double my health right there. Now it does go down. Let's go play with Malf. I mean, he gets this crazy good shield. Now it does decay very quickly. I'll bump him away and we'll get out the kill.
That was rather entertaining.
6 seconds though, in a team fight is a huge deal. That easily absorbs, absorbs a good chunk of damage. Kind of puts the hamper on whatever the enemy team is doing. If they're going to blow a lot of high value cooldowns on your shield, then that is fantastic for you. I do think in the overwhelming majority of situations that Sound Barrier is going to be the way to go.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
The alternative though is Reverse Amp.
Choose a talent.
We'll take a peek here at the tooltip. Blast Lucio's crossfade track and enemy heroes for 4 seconds, causing healing boost to inflict damage per second and the speed boost to slow. So, also, the one good thing about this is that the Amp It Up cooldown is increased, or duration, excuse me. But we'll gonna look something like this. So now he's slow, and if I swap out, he's gonna take some damage. I don't think in the grand scheme of things. I mean, look at the damage on this. Let's go. Now he's gonna get some of this is gonna be auto attacking. It's a solid amount of damage. I just don't think in the grand scheme of things you're better off with this. You're better off with the shield. You're gonna want to keep your team alive. Let them do the damage. That's what they're kind of there for. The slow could be useful. I do think Sound Barrier is almost always going to be the way to go. Again, I haven't looked up the pick rates or anything like that. So that's kind of Lucio in a nutshell. He's very mobile, but you'll see, like right here, if I'm out in the middle of the open, I'm getting absolutely no value from my trait. You really want to be like in a choke point, something like this, where you can be nearby. He's got the little like speed boost that shows you when he's got the extra bonus speed.
Time to heal up. I hear that.
It's tough. It's very dependent on the map to be able to get the most value out of your trait. He's still, he's in a weird spot, like I said, because of the nerf. He does provide AoE heal, and he's got a big power spike in terms of healing at 16, and I think that's what needed to be tweaked, possibly, if they were worried about the overall strength, and we'll get to it, we'll go through the talents real fast. You know, he does provide a lot of mobility for your team, and so as Lucio, you know, what you're going to have to balance is between using the speed boost to give your team mobility and, you know, both for the offensive and defensive abilities, and then, you know, kind of doubling back and switching up between the heals. Let's take a peek at the talents, shall we? So he's got a couple of ones at level 1. What do we got here? We've got... Oh, I'm not at level 1. Reset. There we go. So there's an interesting one at level 1 here for maximum tempo. It's a quest talent. Kill 5 enemy heroes while Crossfade's speed boost is active. And what it does, permanently increases amp it up speed boost to Crossfade to 60%. So that's actually pretty nice. I'll show you what that looks like here. We'll complete that quest. Okay. I mean, that's a huge speed boost. Now, all you have to do, if you know an enemy hero is about to die, you've got to switch off and hit your speed boost at the last second, and it'll count toward the quest. It could be a little tough to trigger, but it does give you a significant speed bonus if you can pull it off. I also like this one here, Accelerando. Wall ride's movement speed bonus gradually increases to 40% over 4 seconds while you maintain the effect. So if you're in a map where you're going to be able to wall ride a lot, this will be pretty great because this will give you 40% bonus faster than mount speed. So that's pretty nifty. Alright, at level 4, we have Subwoofer. Enemies within the first half of Soundwave's range are knocked back 50% further. If Soundwave is cast while riding, I'm not a fan of this one. This one is a little too situational. I do like Chase the Base. Hit 20 enemy heroes with Soundwave, and you increase the Soundwave's arc by 50%, and its range is increased by 20%. So let's kind of show you what we're talking about here. So this is by default. This is what it is. If we take this, we complete the quest. You got a huge arc now there. You can really, give yourself some momentum to push people around. At level 7, I almost always take Party Mix. Play Crossfade tracks nearby allies for a total of 8 minutes. Multiple allies provide additional time, and the reward is it increases Crossfade's range. So this actually isn't that hard to get if your team stays together, since it's cumulative. So if you have 1 hero, yeah, it's going to 1 hero for 8 minutes, but then 2 heroes, it's going to double up the time. 3 heroes, so on and so forth. So you can complete this quickly, even though it's a level 7 talent. And there's the bonus that you get when this is completed. Significantly larger range. It's going to be much easier to kind of keep your heroes within range of your abilities, and that is pretty sweet.
Choose a talent.
Obviously, I'm going to probably, I won't say obviously, but more often than not, I'm going to take Sound Barrier at level 10. At 13, Hardstyle is pretty good. If, again, you're going to be able to wall ride, you gain 25% armor while wall riding, which is, extra damage reduction for you. So that is pretty nice. This one is an interesting pick that I take occasionally back in the mix. Heal for a bit upon entering stun silence or time stop effect. If you've got an enemy team that has a lot of silences or a lot of stuns, that might be something to consider. It's going to be, situational. At 16, this is the big power boost here. Let's go and pick this talent. Let's go.
Choose a talent.
This is Rejuvenescia, and I actually, before the video, I looked up how to pronounce this, and I still just butchered it, so sorry. I should have checked it again. At any rate, while the Amp It Up is active, Crossfade's healing boost heals for an additional 3% of the target's maximum health. So this is the big power spike for Lucio. Oh man, I butchered that pronunciation. This is the big power spike for Lucio. Watch the healing on this. Look at that. That is crazy good. Now, obviously, this dummy's got a crazy amount of health, so it's going to be big numbers. But let's go use it on Malf over here. I mean, look how fast his health is going up. That's his big power spike. That's because it's maximum health. It's going to be percent-based. Heroes that have a lot of health are going to get a bigger boost. It's really, really good, and that is, I think I don't know why you wouldn't take that. I really don't know. Yeah, that's almost always the one that you're going to take. At level 20, we got a couple of good ones too. This is an interesting one. Bossa Nova reduces the cooldown of Sound Barrier to 30 seconds, but the shield decays over 4 seconds. So that's a trade-off that you have to make. So by default, the cooldown is 80 seconds. this lowers it to 30. So you'll get to cast this way often. Like basically every team fight, you'll have this up, and you'll have it ready to go, and that's crazy good. The downside is, the shield's now going to decay over 4 seconds, and that's what it's going to look like there. And the question that you need to ask yourself, the question that you need to answer and consider is, what's more important? Do I want sound barrier more often, or are those extra 2 seconds going to make the difference? And it's going to depend on... Oh, I let my mouth get killed here. That was silly me. And it's going to depend on the team comps. Are they doing burst damage? How are they working it? It's a very interesting trade-off. I still think it's very powerful. I think it's good just to have it up more often than not, especially like in a quick match situation. It's definitely really good. Alternatively, bonus track can be pretty solid as well. Let's go through bonus track just for the sake of it. We'll pick whatever here. We'll go Oops, didn't even select it. Silly me.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
There we go. Bonus track. So bonus track, swapping crossfade while amp it up is active will set it back to its maximum duration. So this is gonna look something like this. All right, and it's back up. And you don't even have to stay on that one swap, so you could conceivably hit it and hit it back. So let's go through. Actually, I'm gonna go through and take that 16 talent that I'm not gonna pronounce poorly again. We're gonna go something like this. Okay, we're gonna start off with the heal. We're gonna hit amp it up. Okay, look at it. Swap right back. And you potentially like super increase your healing speed or your healing duration using that ability. And there is definitely some skill involved to be able to hit it at just the right time and be able to swap it down. But you potentially turn your crossfade, turn your amp it up rather, from a 3-second duration into like a 5-second duration if you could pull it off right, and that could be very, very, very strong as well. So he builds up in strength in the later game. He gets a power spike when he gets sound barrier. He's going to get a power spike at 16. He could get the power spike there at 20. So he gets stronger in the late game. He's going to have trouble in the early game. His heals are a little underwhelming in the beginning. If I set my level, let's set my level to level 1.
Choose a talent.
We'll go take a look here. That's not a whole lot of healing at level 1. There's not much. This is the 2. That used to, I think, be default by 3. Not a lot of healing there. Arthas is just gonna eat him up, and he's healing himself on top of that. This is one of those situations where you want to kind of go like that, and you want to keep Arthas closer to your forts or something. Yeah, Malfurion would have died had I not kind of taken advantage of the fact that I've got toggle cooldowns off. So it's a tough bet. If you're gonna want to draft him into a comp where you are not as concerned about the early game, where you can kind of hold off any initial push that they might have or any disadvantage that you might have because of that. So something to consider. What do you have to look out for with him? He's going to do well with people that are going to stay within your range. He might be comboed well like a Tassadar or something like that, because they'll be able to. Tassadar will be able to shield people, as well as you getting the heals on them. The mobility can make him difficult to track down, but you've got to watch out for anybody who's got like point and click CC. So like that, Varian, Uther can be a pain in the butt with that. Vela, if she gets the drop on you, you can kind of boop her away, but you got to be careful because she can do a crazy amount of damage very, very quickly. Anybody who just gets in your face, and then especially if you don't have your cooldown up, is going to be trouble for you if you can't, find yourself getting away. Anyone who can stick to you. Illidan can be trouble, just because he's got the mobility to stick to you through your movement speed. I keep saying Illidan for everything. Like, he's just a pain in the butt. Illidan's one of those heroes that can 1v1 really just tear a lot of people up. I know I've said that for a lot. The reason he's not stronger is that he's very susceptible to crowd control and stuff like that. So let's take a peek here. We will hop into the game. We'll see what we get. Hopefully I won't get myself killed. Lucio can be hard to kill if played well. I find for just playing with him in quick match and playing as him and playing against him, most of them get killed because they think they overextend. Like I'm notorious for overextending, and you think, oh, I've got my speed boost, I'll just be able to get away, and then you don't. So, alright, so we got a hammer, we got a Diablo, we got a Samaro, and I think that's a Rhaegar? Okay, so that's, we got lots of heals, then, if that's the case. Yep, that's what it is. They also have Lucio and another Diablo. So what am I going to be looking out for here? I got to look out for Diablo. He's able to dash in and CC me. That could be trouble. Hopefully, Li Ming, I can keep my distance and avoid her attacks. Nova could potentially be some trouble if she gets to sneak in on me and gets to drop on me. I might get killed before I have a chance to fire off my abilities, so that could be trouble. Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's pretty solid, Matt. We are going to have... Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work out, actually. This is be interesting. We'll have some decent push in wave clear with hammer. Should be a trip. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to take this. The reason being, I mean, there's a lot of terrain here. I mean, look, they got these things here in the middle. Same thing on the bottom. There's a lot of terrain on this particular map for me to kind of, wall ride off of, if I remember to pull it off correctly, at least.
Combat starts in 10 seconds.
That's fantastic. I like this guy's name.
3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin.
Alright, I'm gonna go middle. Yeah, Rhaegar's with me. Hammer's gonna go top. Samaro is gonna be AFK. Oh, hey, there's Li Ming. Diablo in bottom. So this is already not so great. Having the two healers in the middle, not the best thing in the world.
Let's get patched up.
Here we go. Here's the Samaro. Come to help us out.
The metal spiders bring the gems of power to my altar.
Well timed.
Oh, I ate that. That was too bad. There we go. See, that was just a little boop to Li Ming. Knock her back into the team.
Keep up that healing.
Give him some heals. Our hammer gets killed up in the top. Like, I don't want to be the only person. This is the problem now. I'm going to be the only person mid lane up against people that I can't kill by myself. The Lucio battle is interesting, although we did get Thrall. So here we go. Notice what I'm doing here. I'm in the middle of the lane. Like, I'm not getting any bonus here from a speed boost. Like, it's tough to pull off. I heal myself up a little bit. As I walk right back into the orb. Like, I really need help here. I can't kill her. Yeah. That was my fault. Overextended, got caught by Nova. I tried to get aggressive. Like, you can't leave a healer. Rhaegar is better. If you're going to leave a healer in the solo lane, Rhaegar is the better one to do it with. He's got more damage. He's got the slow. I'm not the one to do this with. And the reason I'm staying there is I don't want to abandon a lane and all of the experience where we're already getting behind. Oops.
Choose a talent.
I don't know where Nova is. I don't trust coming this far out. I just want to stay in the middle. Like, there we go.
Get back. Listen up. Attacking. Oh, this is my jam.
An excellent heal.
Just body block him out. There we go. Knock them out of the way. That was close. They potentially could have had a kill on Diablo there. Fortunately, we were able to knock them out just long enough. Diablo's probably going to bail out. Maybe not.
Oh, you feel that?
Get him some heals. Actually managed to pop Nova there. That was unexpected.
Step this. Going in.
Probably could have killed him, but that's okay.
Let's get patched up. Where we going again? All right.
I'll turn my paltry 3 gems in just because we've got the time to do it.
Now that's my jam. Get back.
Ooh, now that's the kind of healing Mama likes.
Pew, pew, pew.
Push him back. And there's a kill. Very good.
Cool.
Now here's Nova. I just saw her.
Let's give it a spin.
I'm definitely too close for comfort there.
Raising the volume.
There's a good kill.
That was the drop.
I'm trying just to trying to focus all my attention on the moving. So here we go. So I'm going to sit here and try to get as much amp time I can for my quest. And we got 3 people in here, which is pretty nice. Whoop, that could be trouble for Diablo. There's the kill. And now we're going to back up. We're going to move back in just a little bit. We're going to try to boot these guys out of the way. That was my fault. My fault. I went in to try to save them. I stuck around too long, got myself caught. Absolutely my fault. Should have kept just a little bit further back. It looks like the team was going to be safe. That's okay.
Kiss that fort goodbye.
All right, so we've got a turn in. We got a fort. That's a good start. It's a good start. We've got about a half-level lead.
Oh, time for an encore.
Here, let's see what we can do. I have respawned. I'm gonna head over this way. Actually, I'm gonna head over here, as a matter of fact. And definitely we're gonna take sound barrier. I have no qualms about that.
Listen up.
Hero slain.
All right.
Get back. Moving to the beat.
See that? Look at that number just going up. I've got all these guys here in my circle.
Enemy fort destroyed.
Whoop, gotta watch out for that.
It's the gems. Bring them. Bring me their power.
Now that's more like it.
Let's go. We're gonna go in. I will sound barrier.
Oh, let's push it. Push on. Going in.
Good stun. Unfortunately, we don't get any kills for that, but that's okay. Oh, that was
Expertly
a tough push. Tough push.
Healing Mama likes.
We were very, very aggressive there.
Let's give it a spin. Oh yeah, let's pick it up.
Somebody's over there, yep.
I asked. Soon you will know my power.
Let's give it a spin.
Defend yourselves or perish. I care not which.
Keep on that healing.
Nice patch job.
Ouch! Enemy down!
Impressive.
I'm feeling good. Time to heal up.
Keep up that healing.
I'm not a fan of fighting right here. This is very, very aggressive. Oh, that was a blown ult.
Let's rock the beat.
Got my quest completed, so that's nice. I'm gonna get killed now.
Push up.
Yep. Trying to save Diablo. Did save Diablo. Paid the price for it. You'll see though. I've got almost got Chase the Base done. Party mix. That is completed, so that'll be helpful. Overall though, we're doing well. We have a level lead. We're about to hit 13. They've got 2 forts that are down. I'm going to go hard style.
Shatter their constructs.
See what I can do.
Deliver the gems to my altar before your enemies.
Killing Lucio, very solid. I've already died 3 times, way too much. There's a kill in their Diablo, that's pretty nice. Hey, why don't we take this camp while we're here? That'd be fantastic. Here, you guys can get some heals.
Keep up that healing. My thanks.
Lucio in the house.
That guy's got 30-something gems. That's pretty nice. And we got a web weaver now. And we've got some pushing.
Time to accelerate.
We got some pushing mercs that Thrall looks like he's about to take out on the bottom.
Slay their enemies. Show no mercy.
Okay. Did lose that, unfortunately, but we still get some experience for killing the minions. Here's Diablo. It looks like we're heading down towards the Diablo. Give everyone this here speed boost. I'm going to try and get past him and boop him. There we go. Just like that. Get the body block. There we go. Chase him down. Very solid. And we're going to give everyone a heal in the meantime. Take this keep, or take this fort rather, this tower. There's the, oh, nope. We're gonna break it down right here. Down you go. We're gonna back up here. Fantastic.
This is gonna make me feel better.
Gather their gems. Bring them to me. Do this now.
I would love to back up just a little bit. Boop. Oh, you're gonna go this way. There we go. There's a little boop to the side. That was, we'll eat that. Everybody gets the heals. We'll get some speed. Everybody gets the heals. Everybody gets the heals. That's all I'm gonna do. Wow, that was fantastic. They really... Go away. Ate that. That was too bad. We are standing here way too long. I would like to just back up. Maybe turn in. Maybe that they're just gonna keep doing that. That's fine.
Next.
I'm on target.
This is fine. We've got double heals here. If they just keep stepping out, we've been punishing them. This is kind of laughable, actually. Samaro is up top. Samaro would be well served to take some camps. Alright, so there's their Diablo back, so we gotta be careful about that. I do have sound barrier up, so if they do charge us, I can pop the sound barrier. I can pop... Let me switch over to the speed boost.
Now that's the kind of healing mama likes.
And there is the keep.
In the groove. Here we go.
There we go, Samaro. Just as I say that, I see Samaro down there taking the camp. Alright, fantastic. I'm gonna turn in. I have 9 gems. It's working out pretty well. I've died way too much, but that's okay. So their Lucio is going to come in to try and stop us. We're going to boop him out. He gets exploded. Everybody gets to heal.
Listen up.
Triple kill.
Let's up the tempo.
Give him a little speed boost. I'm going to back off and toggle the heal now.
Now that's the kind of healing mama likes.
Just because, gotta watch out, I am a little low. But look, just like that. Rhaegar healed me, I'm healing myself. We're back up to full. We have a 2 level lead. Almost a 3 level lead, 2.5 level lead. Do have a Talon Edge. Diablo is all of the mana out of it. All of the mana out of it. Those are words that I said. That's fine, we're going to take down that tower.
Get back.
Just a little bit of a boop. That is not the real Nova.
It's gonna be big. Move to the beat.
See, I can just kind of hang out here and get some wall ride action.
Let's hustle. It's gonna be big.
Everybody go fast. So we're going to turn in here. I'm going to stand around here. Actually, I'm going to stand next to this wall.
Enough. The power is
Alright, so we got some gems. We got some web weavers. We've got some turning on the bottom here, as you see.
Give it a spin.
So those mercs are going to get killed on the bottom, but this forward web weaver, this one in the middle, is going to push like way all the way up to here. The other web weaver is going to push like way up to here. So we're in pretty good shape. If they're going to focus on the bottom one, we can push the top fort down, hopefully pretty easily.
Now that's my jam.
Here we go. Just kind of hang out next to the wall, get some armor. I'll just do some healing. Now, fun thing about the healing is, you know, by me hitting my healing, I don't use any mana to the heal. Everybody gets a shield.
That was cool.
The kind of healing mama likes.
And I was saying, by me using my healing, that actually saves
Keep destroyed.
Rhaegar's mana. Alright, Diablo's gonna get killed. Yep.
Well timed.
Healing boom.
Whoa, that was cool.
There's a kill on their Lucio, who's pushed way too far. Their Lucio's died 5 times. That's entirely too much, even for this kind of stompy match. Looks like we're gonna go back in.
gather more gems or face
Gonna want to be careful.
Locked on.
He just gets away. Just gets back to the storm. Now, okay, so our web weavers are down. We have gotten our Diablo is back. It looks like he had full souls.
Yeah, let's move it, people.
Good heal, kid. Keep it up.
Alright, we're just gonna push here. If we can protect Hammer, we'll just win because of that.
Push on. Here we go.
Eliminated.
Blazing the
Everybody gets some heals.
Another winning streak shattered.
My shield is ready to go. I'll pop that in just a moment.
Oh, let's break it.
And here's the shield to boot, just for the extra little FU. And that was a pretty solid game. GG indeed. Alright, Hammer MVP status. Can't type. Uber. That was one of those matches where we just sat back and protected the Hammer, and they didn't. Their Lucio, I think, was out of position way more than our Lucio was, which is good, which means I didn't screw up all that badly. Look at all those votes. Fantastic. Good job, Hammer. I am down with that. Let's take a look at the stats. We'll talk about the talents, why we picked them, and what I thought of the game. Here we go. All right. Hooray for the XP. That is 1 for 1 today. I'm liking that. Stats. Yeah. Yeah. That was very stompy. Very solid game. I died 3 times. 3 of them were my fault. I mean, that's what I mean by Lucio when it comes to positioning. 2 times I overextended. The 1 time I overextended because I was trying to save Diablo. I did manage to save Diablo. Got myself picked off for it. You know, interesting trade. I don't know if it's worth it there. Maybe. You saw how it ramped up in the late game. Once I got my talent at 16 and I capped off my quest from 7. I mean, that's a lot of healing. I mean, that was just healing off across the board. I was just standing there and I was able to go nuts. Especially at 20, picked up what was it? Not Bossa Nova. Bonus track. There we go. Excuse me. I would forget the name. I picked up bonus track. Was able to kind of cycle that and get the extra heals. Yeah, that worked out very well for us. I think our Diablo was better than their Diablo. I think our Lucio was better than their Lucio. Just saying. You know, we were able to interrupt them large enough. You know, I didn't have to try and do too many boops. Just kind of, you know, a little oomph here or there. Keep it going. And with this squad, I think we had a lot of heals between Lucio and Rhaegar here, so they had trouble taking us down. Diablo is very tanky naturally, so it's just you saw what happened. They moved in, Diablo flipped them over, and then they were, you know, kind of SOL. You know, just protect the Hammer, and that's a pretty solid strategy in a lot of games if you're able to do it. This was a game we were able to do it. Hammer took the right talents as well. Speaking of talents, let us take a peek at what we did and why. So level 1, Accelerando, wall rides, movement speed, wall ride, that's what I said, right? Movement speed bonus gradually increased to 40% over 4 seconds. I don't know how well I use this. I'm not sure how well I play Lucio in terms of his trait. I feel like I don't take advantage of it quite enough. I tend to stand in the middle of things. You saw a lot of those fights. I was like standing right out in the middle of the open, like right in the middle of my teammates, which is fine, but I wasn't getting any value off the trait. I don't know. I think that's one of the reasons why he can be a little difficult to play. I mean, he's easy to play in that his heal, which I was trying to say before, his heal doesn't use any mana. You only use mana when, you know, you use your other spells. So I was, you know, my idea here was just to keep the heal up as much as possible, allow Rhaegar the mana for other abilities. And he actually went full healing as well. Look at that. So that works out pretty well for him. Yeah, so you don't use any mana. You can just kind of just stand there and get, you know, that residual heal without using any mana, anything like that. So that was the idea. So anyway, level 4, chase the base. Hit 20 enemy heroes with Soundwave, increases the arc by 50% and its range by 20. I was able to complete that, so I think that's good. I do like he's got the ability to boop the people out of the way, or even in danger. Definitely did that a couple of times. Knocked Diablo into some trouble, and then you kind of body block him. Level 7, Party Mix. Play his crossfade tracks nearby allies for a total of 8 minutes. You saw how quickly this was able to be completed. It really doesn't take a lot. You know, if you're healing, if you're grouped with your team, as you should be, as your support, but if you're grouped with your team, and you have, you know, 2 and 3 people within your range at all times, you complete this very, very quickly. And reward, increase the crossfade range by 20%, so that is pretty sweet. 10, Sound Barrier. Yep, I like Sound Barrier, still think it's really good. I think it was the right call here. I misfired it once, where I fired it off and I missed everybody but myself, and that's when our Diablo got killed, so that was too bad, that was my bad. Should have been closer. You know, there is a relatively short range of where you can fire this off, so you do have to be cognizant of that. Otherwise, no, I was fine. I think this was a good pick. Level 13 hardstyle, gain 25 armor while wall ride's movement speed is active. You know, it's one of those hit or miss things. If you can take advantage of the trait, this is fabulous. I don't know how well I did it. I still think it's a good talent. This is a good map, I think, to use it on. There is just a lot of terrain and a lot of places to kind of, you know, wall ride off of. Level 16, I already butchered the pronunciation once. I'm not going to do it again, but I took this one. That's just crazy healing. Just ridiculous healing. So much healing. Healing boost heals for an additional 3% of the target's maximum health. I think that's where a lot of this number comes from. It's just a lot of the heals on Diablo. You know, even Hammer there. Just a lot of heals. 20 bonus track. Swapping crossfade tracks while Amp It Up is active. So yeah, I mean, from a personal standpoint, playing him, I think I need to be a little better on swapping the tracks. There were a couple of times where I thought I was healing and I was really speed boosting, or vice versa. You know, the colors still throw me. I do get the habit of looking at my screen on the bottom just to see which track it's on. For the most part, I was okay with that. You know, there were a couple of times where I was able to swap out and hit the speed boost to allow us to chase somebody down. I think we chased down that Diablo at one point. I think we chased down Lei Ming with that at one point. It's pretty solid speed boost off of that. It was a stompy game. I'm happy to play those kind of games. I'm okay with this. What do we have here? I had 15 assists, better than my usual. Fantastic. Oh, well, similar players. Well, I don't know what similar players are doing then. I have no idea. You know, somehow also managed to get 4 kills. And that is, I think, mostly just you get those extra last shots. You know, you get to track people down, get those extra last little oomphs. You know, anyway, that's Lucio in a nutshell. He's weaker than he used to be because of the healing nerf. He does ramp up significantly in the end game. So if you've got a team that can live through that, I mean, I think once we got to 13, it was all downhill for them. It looks like, you know, he's you know, he can be a main support, no doubt about that, but he's lower on the tier list, you know, if you were making one, than I think like a Malf or Rhaegar, even for that matter, would be. Anyhow, my name is Conman. I hope that was interesting. Let me know what you think. We will be back soon. I think we get Lunara next, chugging through the L's. Yeah, Lunara, finish off the L's, and then we get to play with another support. All right, I like it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.